I'm just taking a midnight stroll, and um, that is when the deep thoughts pop up. This is probably my fourth video, and I was watching my video from yesterday, and I realized that I was not making sense as to what I was trying to say. I guess not this. I was not being very cohesive with what I was speaking, and it there was a missing point, and I couldn't quite get to it. Um, the first question that popped up in my head was, why am I speaking about symbolism? As in, why is the reality symbolic of something? And so, to explain that, I would say, um, let's hypothesize if God really did make this world, okay, and we are hypothesizing it because we do not know for sure what this whole thing is. We have no clue whether this is real, or are we experiencing a simulation. It's quite confusing, right? It has been a question for a millennia now. So let's suppose God did make this. There is a being God called God, and he, she, they just made this thing, and they happen to take some decisions on it, like all the rules by which the universe works, okay, gravity, oxygen, I don't know, so many things that they decided to just go for. And it's quite amazing how fine-tuned it is. So it becomes a question, why this form? Why exactly the way it is? Why does everything appear to be the way it is? Like, why do I have a face, a head, eyes, and stuff like that? I could have been an octopus with 8 hands using hammers and whatnot. You know, if God had chosen that. Now people would say that wouldn't be functional because you'd need water, but then life could have been surviving without water if God chose it to be the way, you know, because we are considering God to be omnipotent. Since omnipotence, we are not going into that paradox of omnipotence, it could have been anything, you know. It could have, we could have just, you know, life could be without evil or without any sort of disease, and that could have been a very viable life, you know. But that's not the decision God took with this life. Strange question, huh? Strange observation. And then the question arises, why? Of course, at the end of the question is a big question again, and we do not know things for sure. We are just merely putting some sort of meaning into it that we can find, and that's how it works. You've been given a bowl, and you can choose what you want to put inside of it, you know. So so it could have been anything. If God wanted, there wouldn't be any evil or disease, and we all could have been living a very happy, relaxed life, you know, uh, without any sort of discomfort. But that would mean infinite resources, or not having a body at all, because you wouldn't need food, you wouldn't need sleep, and you wouldn't need body. You could have just been a blob of consciousness moving around. But for that to be there, there would be no need for anything to exist at all. And I guess consciousness cannot perceive itself without a mirror. And I guess that's why a lot of big philosophers, or a lot of crazy names out there, they decided to go for, I think I should turn because there are a lot of dogs here and they're just barking. It's gonna get into the video.